Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review. This is night 2 of our wrestling reviews. We are covering the New Year's Day Pro Wrestling Noah event, which saw the final match of Keiji Muto, i.e. the Great Muta, in Pro Wrestling Noah against Shinsuke Nakamura, the WWE superstar. But before we get into that review, let me welcome back. Happy New Year. Campo, welcome back to the show.
Hey, it's good to be back. Feels like it's been like
a year
forever.
It has been
a year. It's a whole new year.
It has been a long while though since we've done a pro wrestling review. So it's
been about two. It's been like over 2 weeks since we filmed anything. So
yeah, so that's why we took the week off last week and we came back hard and fast with this one. We'll be getting more out of there anytime soon as well. But before we do that, I just want to thank each and every one of you, especially this guy over here, and RLG, Roblox Games, Putty. Thank you so much for helping us exceed our goal of 250 subs for the end of the year. It really means a lot, and these guys have a lot to do with it. So I appreciate everything that you guys have done to help me grow this channel. So we appreciate that, and thank you so much. So with that business out of the way, Campo, our first review of Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yeah.
Shall we get into it?
Yeah. Prerequisite.
Mm-hmm.
I for myself at least, I have never seen a full event for Noah.
Neither have I. I've seen matches here and there, like Kenta's matches when he was in Noah, and some Nakamura stuff when he was in Noah.
I've seen some of the must-see stuff and a lot of the crossover stuff, but I've never watched an event.
Yeah, neither have I. So it was an interesting event. We're gonna start. Interesting, no pre-show on this show. It was just 11 straight matches. The first match was Yasutaka Yano against Taishi Ozawa. Quick little showcase match, I guess, to get the crowd into it.
I mean, yeah, it was fine.
It wasn't anything. It was 4 minutes. It wasn't like it could.
Yeah, at this point, especially from the Japanese promotions, I don't have any expectations for like the first 5 matches of the night.
You know, the first 4 or 5 matches on the card, as it's shown with this one, and it's shown in our review last night of Wrestle Kingdom, they're all going to be 6-man, 8-man tags just to showcase all their talent that can't make the card. But you
can see it throughout watching all of these now that we've been watching. Even when you watch like the tag league and whatever, they seem to have this dynamic of making these where these matches are to get you going a little and to let the people get into the arena or wherever they're doing the show.
Yeah, because they were WWE is more like a concert. Arena.
Yeah, WWE is like a concert. If you're not there when it starts, then too bad. You know what I mean? These shows, it seems like people just slowly start to come to the arena.
Yeah, and I noticed that too, because some of the house lights were still on when this match started.
Yeah, the arena was pretty empty.
Yeah. So, and this is Budokan too. It's a big arena.
Yeah, which it surprised me because it really filled up by the end. I did not know that Noah was this kind of popular. But I
noticed it too on Wrestle Kingdom too.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Right. Yeah. Well, we'll get to Wrestle Kingdom when we get there. But yeah, it's same type of vibe.
Yeah, it was pretty much. I don't know if they've done this New Year's Day. I think they have done New Year's Day before. It's kind of like an annual show, but nothing to this grand where we had Keiji Muta's retirement match.
And I think that was the selling point.
Yeah,
I came for that, and I stayed for the
whole show. Yeah. So, that's out of the way. Next, we have our first of 3 6-man tag matches. We have Inaba, Masakiriyama, and Yoshiki Inamura going over Atishoho Saito, Mohamed Yone, and Shohei Taniguchi.
And he's the one that knows Japanese.
Yeah, and right? It's hard to pronounce sometimes.
But yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about 6-man. And then you know how I feel about 8-man tag matches when there's nothing on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? Once again, it's fine.
Yeah, it was a 6-man tag match. It was another decent match. It kind of, as the show went on, I kind of got more and more excited for the show because, okay, let's see what else Noah has to offer, right? So next we have Alejandro, Dante Leon, and Ninja Mac against one of their factions, Congo, which is High 69, Shuji Kondo, and Tadasuke. Congo, I guess, is their main heel faction, I guess.
Which this is the point where I really started getting into this.
This was a fast, high flying match too.
Yeah, it was, and okay, the one guy, the announce team, first of all, was pretty like solid. They gave me a good.
You
amount
watched
of
the English or the
information.
Japanese one?
I watched the English.
Yeah, same here.
Well, the Australian, from what I gathered, but it was
English language.
It was they New Japanned it. They told me information I needed. They helped me get to know these wrestlers. But the one guy with the really high pitched voice, he sounded like a soccer commentator the whole time. Yeah. He sounded like the guy from FIFA. So the whole time I'm just waiting for him to like yell out goal or something. It was really like high pitched and nasally. But yeah, the other guy was really good.
Yeah, he knew his stuff. The one thing that stood out in this match, Alejandro, he had corn on his boots.
Did he?
The kick guards were cobs of corn.
Oh, I thought you meant he had like corn on his boots. I was like,
no.
Corn.
His kick guards were actual like.
No, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I noticed that right away. But
Send me a piece of that corn.
Yeah, Nacho Libre, which will play into this a little later. So next we have, and these guys, Congo loses, Alejandro, Dante Leon, Ninja Mac. I know Dante Leon a few weeks back fought for the GCH championship.
He won the lightweight title very recently.
Yeah.
And already doesn't have it.
Yeah, he lost it to the guy who's going to defend it later in the show. Next we have Michizuki and Michizuki. I called them the Scooter Brothers.
Scooter Brothers.
Against Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. So I'm guessing this is Dr. Wagner's grandson.
It's literally the best name ever.
Yeah. Kotoge and Seiki Yoshioka. And Scooter Brothers go over in this match. I don't understand. Did you understand the concept of the scooters?
No, but I laughed quite hard because initially upon coming out, the guy on the far left, he went to go lift up his scooter and it like swung down hard and like hit him in the hand. You could see he was pissed off about it.
Pissed off about it? Yeah.
Look at the stupid gimmick they stuck me with.
Scooter Brothers. Because I think they're all related because they all got the same last name. So
they didn't really look alike.
No, but I like the gimmick though, the scooter. It's something different, something funny. Something that we'll get into our review coming up on another show. We'll talk about it that involved a bicycle. I don't know if you remember that bicycle spot.
Yes, I do, and it was amazing.
So fun fact, you just made a Nacho Libre reference. Hijo, the Dr. Wagner Jr. is Silver King's nephew who played Ramses in Nacho Libre.
No way.
Yes.
Ramses doesn't want to play it. What is he doesn't want to dance at the party?
He doesn't want to sing at the party.
Oh, so good.
So that's a little fun fact for you. Next we have Congo once again. Other members of Congo: Nakajima, Masakatsu Funaki, Shoya, and Hajime Ohara against Kazuyuki Fujita, Kendo Kashin, Rongai, and Hiroshi Hase.
Well, I know who
in an
Fujita
8-man
is.
tag.
That was the only person that I knew here.
Yeah. Fujita's a legend.
So
former NJPW, former Pride fighter.
Yeah. And this was actually okay. It was a little bit chaotic.
Yeah, this was the hardest hitting match so far. Like these guys went hard on each other.
But this is like, so the first two matches were like whatever, they're fine. Like all up to now they're all fine. And then the match 3 is where like I started to be like, okay, I kind of like what Noah's doing. This match, when they started really hitting each other, I was like, it caught my attention. I started really focusing, and like the phone was down, nothing was going on. I'm like, okay, I'm here for this. But it was, like I said, it was a little bit too chaotic. There was a lot of stuff going on outside the ring, and
that happens a lot with 8-man tag matches because there's just so much that.
But I like that.
Yeah,
they do this. New Japan does this. AEW struggles to. Even WWE does too, to find what you're going to do with the extra people in these matches, where these guys are like, well, they're just going to fight on the outside. We're not even going to film it. we'll show you a replay if something happens.
I think we made a comment on that on the last AEW pay-per-view where they were fighting outside of the ring, and we were asking why don't they fight on the camera side where the camera can get it and not on the opposite side where they can't see it.
But like the whole thing for all of these matches just seemed to be everyone just does whatever they want, and then if we catch it, we'll show it to you. If something good happens, we'll replay it.
Yeah, because that's one thing I noticed they did too. They did show a lot of replays. New Japan, not as much, but Noah, I noticed, seems to do more replays.
It seems to be targeted more at the in-arena fans. Like, a lot of the stuff going on is for the experience of the people there rather than the people watching at home.
Yeah, I would agree to that. Once again, Congo loses this match as well. Good enough match.
They seem very like imposing as a faction, but they don't seem to win. So,
and one thing I noticed, Run Guy, he's the guy covered in tats, which you don't see a lot in Japan. Tats are kind of a taboo in Japanese culture.
There's like a subculture of it where here tattoos are quite normal.
Yeah, but which is it's uncommon though. Like rarely do you see a Japanese pro wrestler with tats.
Yeah, they don't usually get the push.
Yeah. Exactly. So it was a fun match. And that's like you said, this is where the meat of the show started now. Like right around this match. And then you had a name I clearly recognize, Timothy Thatcher. Timothy Thatcher, say that 3 times fast. Former NXT guy going up against, I called him Zach Morris, but it's Jack Morris.
Well, so like we already gave my whole description of this, but getting here, I was like, oh, I don't care about this match. I don't know what it is. When I see 2 lame-looking white guys at a Japanese wrestling event, you lost me because I'm just expecting TMDK. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, it's not Zack Sabre Jr. I've never heard of these people. So for me, this was like...
See, I knew Timothy Thatcher, so I knew what to expect.
Good, though.
Yeah, I knew what to expect from him. I knew he was more of a catch-style wrestler, more ground-based, more technical.
He was really good.
Yeah. He has potential. I don't know why the WWE squandered him. He was one of those let-goes.
I think it's because of his mouth.
Yeah, he tends to run his mouth. But I mean, this is a good...
he has a really messed up looking mouth.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you meant because he likes to run his mouth too.
All his teeth are like half teeth.
Yeah,
but
true.
Yeah, we digress.
I digress. But yeah, this is when, like you said, for me, this is the point where, yeah, here I am. I'm invested now. I'm gonna see this through till the end. No more watching on 1.5 times speed.
And the format was lost on me at first because we've been watching so much WWE to end the year off.
Yeah,
and like I always watch my weekly AEW. Even with the New Japan, that didn't matter. We were watching so much WWE, so the concept of the way the pay-per-views are laid out was lost on me. And then I started realizing, like how we just talked about it, that the reason I'm not interested in some of these matches is because I'm not supposed to be interested in these matches. They're gonna give me all the title matches. Don't worry, they're coming.
They're coming. The good. You sat through this, now you get the good stuff. You know what I mean?
It's like a reward for watching the pay-per-view. Where WWE gives you like the first match.
Yeah,
and then nothing
it's like
the
last WWE event, the NXT event that we did, Deadline. That was like, it was all over the place.
Yeah,
and like, if you ask me, the main event of that show should have been the tag title matches because that was your biggest title on the line.
And had me shooketh how many people at work that I talked to that were like, I was like, "Yo, did you watch that? Yeah, it was so. Oh, you loved it? Oh yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was pretty good. Like I didn't even have the heart to like diss it to the people.
Yeah,
but it was like
we reviewed it.
I was
Go back and watch that review.
Are you sure that you liked this?
They like it because it's the New Day. They're indoctrinated to like it, right? It's just all they've ever known. Like we've always said that WWE, there's WWE fans and then there's wrestling fans. Yeah. WWE fans will not see anything outside of WWE. That's their thing. That's what they want. Like the guys you see in all those people that you see in all the promos and all the stock footage, that little kid dressed up as John Cena. That's their lifelong WWE.
It's a different experience altogether. Like I was showing somebody the other day, like we're way off base, but I'll say it quick. I was showing somebody on New Year's before we went out, some I 1 or 2 New Japan matches, and then I put on Full Gear and I showed the trios match and something else, and you just hear the crowd like they're so behind
different.
everything that every
Yeah.
wrestler is doing. Like every wrestler, face or heel, has this backing, where WWE is like either boos or cheers and nothing else, where they have all these songs and they have like, it was like the Wales crowd. We talked about this in one of the episodes, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was a decent match. You know, it wasn't, it was a little short. It was 12 minutes, but it was a good match. And Jack Morris goes over.
Yes.
I have a feeling he's gonna get the Gaijin push on this.
This was a no cheer event, right? I can't remember.
It was a no cheer. They were just clapping, yeah. But you didn't have that Jay White heel that was trying to get the crowd. You know what I mean?
But that's okay.
Yeah, you
Let
can
him
only
do
have
that.
you can only have one Jay White. At the end of the match, Korean superstar Jake Lee shows up from All Japan, and him and what's his name and Morris walk out together. So
Well, get ready for our next review, All Japan versus Pro Wrestling Noah.
Noah.
I'll be there for that.
Sign me up for that one. Next, we have our first of 4 title defenses of the night. The GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. For those who don't know, GHC, kind of like the way New Japan calls their championship, IWGP International Wrestling Grand Prix. Pro Wrestling Noah call theirs the GHC, which is the Global Honored Crown of Pro Wrestling. It just sounds more important. You know what I mean? It doesn't world champion.
I never really understood it until I found out, like, not even that long ago, what it meant, and I was like, oh, I like it.
Yeah, it just sounds more prestigious. You know, global honored crown. You know what I mean? Like, it just sounds it. So it's Amakusa against Junta Miyawaki for the championship. Amakusa is the defending champion, and really decent high flying lucha style. I enjoyed this match really much.
It was fast paced, and once again, like we said, now it's even starting to ramp up more the sort of shoot style that they're doing.
And this had a lot more back and forth, whereas one is just like, I'm going to work on you for 2 minutes, then you're going to work on me. This is just more, I'm going to do a move, you're going to reverse
lucha style tends to do that.
Yeah. And I enjoy that, especially what you want in a junior heavyweight championship, because they're smaller than, I guess, they're not up to that level. You expect more high flying, almost like a cruiserweight type of.
Absolutely. Mind you, I watched Noche de Champignons,
Champignon,
and it was not good.
No,
we
will not be reviewing that one.
They forcefully pumped sound into the arena. There was like a grand total of 200 people there, and it sounded like a soccer game.
Yeah, that's the one where FTR lost the AAA titles.
Yes, it was, and
now they have
for
no
those
belts.
of you who don't know, since why not? Wow, we're already here.
Yeah.
In Mexico, FTR are heels, so they were not. I was absolutely baffled because they don't act the same, they don't wrestle the same. It was a completely different set of wrestlers.
They were acting like the way they did when they had their first run as NXT champions, as the heel against DIY of Gargano and Ciampa.
It was so weird, because then you see them in Japan, you even saw them at Ring of Honor, they're going around giving everybody props, being so nice, and then in AAA they're like spitting on the fans, and you're like, what the hell is happening?
But I think FTR, and I think that's where they excel too. Like, the thing is, they're just so charismatic and so that you can't help but to cheer for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless
that was the only good match of that event.
Yeah, of course it was. But now FTR is left with no belts.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there. That was in yesterday's review. Go check out Wrestle Kingdom 17 to find our thoughts about that one. Amakusa retains in a decent, fun match.
Yeah. But this, to me, now is the third wave of now we've fully kicked off. This pay-per-view is gone. Like,
the crowd is more into it. You hear more chants. You hear more, you know what I mean? So it's next. We have our second of 4, which is the GHC Tag Team Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match. You have 4 Japanese legends in this match.
Hey, and you know what? Bring him back on my boy. We're bringing him back.
Kojima there or Kenta?
Yeah, Kojima. We're bringing him back.
But I mean, you had Marufuji in this one too. You had Kenta. You had Shigura. Like, it's like.
Yeah, it did. And no, dude, this match is the kickoff point of, like, holy crap. If you thought New Japan, they hit each other hard, These guys were like full on
beating
punching
the
each other
out of
in
each
the
other.
face.
Yeah, they were beating
And I didn't
the
know
shit.
Kenta was about that life. Kenta was
Well,
going
he was
hard.
from Noah. He originally
I
went
know, yeah.
Noah in All Japan, right? So
Yeah.
like
With
it's I think
Sonata.
we're just so used to Kenta, like WWE Kenta and like Bullet Club Kenta, that
Well, we knew he was a good wrestler, and
yeah.
we really caught on to it if we didn't before during the G1. But like the dude can go, and I didn't like. You forget that he's a lot older. Like I believe he's like 41, and
Kenta,
you don't
and
like.
he was the youngest guy in this match.
Yeah, well,
yeah, Marufuji's I think is a couple years older.
Didn't even start until he was 30. They were rookies together.
Yeah.
In the junior division. Well, I don't know how he was a junior, because he's an absolute monster.
Marufuji, yeah.
Yeah, but he took a punch to the face, dude, in
Oh
the
my
beginning,
God.
and I thought he was gonna kill Kenta.
Yeah, I thought he was dead.
I was like, oh, this is it.
Yeah, but
Kojima can still go.
I know. Like, I'm interested to see the Kojima match now that they're gonna have on night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah,
I think it's Kojima and Tanahashi, I think, or something like that. I think he's teaming with Tanahashi.
Yeah, it's it's Yano, Tanahashi, him, and I don't know who the other person is.
Yeah, but still, that's going to be insane. That's going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, man. This is the point where I was like, shit, what have I been missing this whole time? I think I will like Noah.
Yeah, and Takashi and Kojima were the champs, and they end up retaining in almost a 20-minute match. Like, it was a really good tag team match, and I can't get over how good this match actually. It's one of those. This had no right to be this good.
Yeah. Wait, like, what was Kenta's partner's name?
Nomichi Marufuji. Not that Marufuji. It's a different Marufuji.
Okay, so I'm thinking of
the original.
No, what's the guy's name on Kojima's team?
Oh, Takashi. Sujira.
That's who I was talking about. He
took the punch to the face.
Yeah, he's the one that started when he was 30. I'm sorry, I confused that. Yeah, he was a rookie at 30 in Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yeah, but he started in the 2000s.
He's a monster. He was a monster. So I'm correcting all my things now. Marufuji was great.
He's more of the high flyer. But
he reminds me a lot of Tanahashi.
Yeah. He has that type of not that much charisma, but the
similar kind of wrestling style, a similar look.
Yeah, except his more curly.
Yeah, but okay. Well,
great
all
match.
Corrections out of the way. Don't let us know in the comments.
Champs retain. Next, you have your third of 4, and this time it's for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Yohei and Crazy are going in against Ogawa and Eita. Eita is the youngest one in this match. This is another one where
it's KZ and what's the other guy's name?
Yohei.
Dude, I just became the biggest fan ever of them. Like, they have a whole a whole J-pop intro. Yep. And it was actually like a good song. And they had a dance number. And dude, they were cool as hell.
Not like, what's his name from New Japan there? The one who tried creeping on
Taichi?
Taichi, yeah.
Yeah, who's not even really singing. He just holds the thing in front of his face. Yeah. I don't get that gimmick, by the way. I think he should drop it because, like, he's not even singing. Everyone can see that you're not even moving your mouth. You're just holding a microphone in your face. Like, just why are we doing this?
Yeah, he should just come up as like just this monster because he's a big dude and he's strong. He should just come up like, powerlifter, bodybuilder type of.
He should just lean into like the rich, fancy guy aspect of it. Keep his song playing.
Kind of like Triple H's original gimmick, like when he used to come out as the Blue Blood.
Exactly.
I kind of like that. Or the $1 Million Man type of gimmick, like, I'm better than you.
Because he already does that. But shit,
he doesn't need that pop star.
What's Mick Jagger's name on the other team?
Mick Jagger. Is it Ogawa?
Yeah. The guy that looked like he was 400 years old.
Yeah, he's like 56 or something like that.
Dude, but when he started going, I think he's like 58 when I looked it up. Might be wrong. But when he started going,
he was like 56.
56. Okay, you're right. I was like, what the hell? How, like, it
came out of nowhere.
You rarely see a guy that moves like he does when he's walking, and at that age, that once the match started,
Well,
he was so flexible, like he was
yeah,
doing so
because
much.
when he came to the ring, he reminded me a lot of like Tomohiro Ishii, like that type of like slow
Yeah,
lumbering. But
you
when
know
he
what?
got
It gave me like I can't even think of it off the top of my head. It gave me like Muta vibes, where it's like, yeah, he can still go, but like he's not very agile
yeah,
anymore. But then he got in the ring and he was just like all over the place.
destroying everybody, yeah. And you could tell like that these two are a reluctant tag team.
Yeah, but they were both really good as well. I like both characters.
Yeah,
One guy was like a Raven,
yeah.
and the other guy's like a Neo, and he didn't give a shit about
No,
anything. He took his title and he just left. He was like,
yeah,
screw
that's
this.
exactly it. We do get new champs. Hey, Yohei and KZ are we're the
But hey,
champs, and they
I'm a big fan. Yohei
yeah,
KZ, you got a
yeah,
fan.
yeah. They are going to be at night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom, so I'm looking forward to that. I think they are against Taichi, aren't they? They're going to do a
I think
whole
so.
They're going to do the whole J-pop angle.
Let's do it.
Maybe they'll still Miho from
Well, Miho can't come out if there's more than one person. There's
oh,
like
that's
this.
right.
There's these dumbass things in New Japan that just boggle my mind. It's like no valets are allowed at ringside except
If
Dick
it's more,
Togo.
yeah, Dick to go.
If there's more than one wrestler, no, you can't
No,
come.
you can't. Yeah. But yeah, new tag champs. Fantastic match. Like it was a really great tag match. I'm like you said, I'm a fan of Yohei and KZ. It's growing on me. Next you have your and they made it like if you watched like at the top, you probably watched the same feed I watched, and at the top corner they had written in Japanese. I did some translating on that, and it would tell you like only four. This said only 3 more matches until the miracle match of Muta versus Nakamura. Like that's how they were promoting this as a co-main event. Like they even said this was the co-main event, and this had like the build up to it, that little video package before it had that build up of a main, like a really good main event feel. Like I really was invested by the time the match started.
Well, you get more invested because this goes somewhere
Yeah.
in New Japan. But yeah.
Like this is Kiyomiya against Keno for the GHC Heavyweight Championship. This is their main belt.
This was like Wrestle Kingdom main event caliber match.
Yeah. You have Keno, who's the aging veteran who still has something to prove. You have Kaito as the young blood who's like going to carry this company on his shoulders for the future kind of thing. Like,
yeah, Keno's very much like the Naito of this thing. He's like a borderline heel, hates everyone except himself.
Runs
narcissistic.
Yep. But like this match worked though. Like it was, and I would say Kaito is more like a how would you maybe like an Okada or
he was
a little like, younger.
He's very Okada-ish.
Yeah, with the bleach blonde hair and
just like even his wrestling style.
Yeah.
Right?
Like the very like
this was
he's
a
not
good
cut,
match.
but he's like he's fit, but like
this was a really good match.
It was an excellent co-main event, worthy of a title belt. Like this, it just goes to show how championship belts can add to the match. You know what I mean? Like there was something on the line, something to fight for.
But
like
I say that more belts.
Like go back to last year, which even was one of our match of the year candidates, which was the Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, the second match that they had, not the Hell in a Cell, but the second match, the one at Backlash.
Yeah.
Think about it, how if Rollins had a belt that night and Cody Rhodes were to beat him, what that would have like how that would have elevated Cody
in any one of those 3 matches if that happened.
I
don't know. I just don't understand the American way of wrestling where they don't want to put belts on the line. I'm even coming to like this new whole thing of like I think there needs to be quicker movement on belts.
They need to hot shot a little bit more. I agree.
In AEW, Darby Allin won the TNT title. I think he needs to immediately lose this to somebody. He can get it back, but let him just lose it. Let this TV title just constantly keep going. And the All Atlantic, like Orange Cassidy needs to drop it now. That's been enough.
Yeah.
Let's move it. You can get it back. But I think there's so many wrestlers that are really good and deserve a shot, and just having that gold for like a month makes a difference. Where like WWE has got into this trend of like nothing is moving anywhere.
Yeah, it's become stale. Like the Bloodline has all the belts. Gunter is rarely on TV.
Yeah, you go back to the Invasion era when they had the ECW belts. Sure, nothing meant anything at that point, but like belts were just moving.
People like Billy and Chuck were winning the belts. Like
and it's like, but sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah, like the Godfather had a run with one of the belts. Like it meant nothing, but
you can let Jon Moxley win a belt, the championship. You can let him hold it for 150 days. Let him lose it. He can get it back for another 100. If you wanted him to hold it for a full year, let him lose it and get it back and then finish the year. You don't need to have it consistently for that whole time. We understand that you think he's good, you know?
Yeah, we get it. But it also serves to elevate other talent.
Right? And at this point, way off topic, but like I feel like right now, no one is ever going to beat MJF. He's holding this belt until the end of this year, and it's like I don't want to see that. I don't even want him to win the belt in the first place.
Yeah, I wasn't invested in the MJF feud.
He cannot wrestle. Not okay, and you know what I mean when I say that. Like, not obviously he knows.
He's not like, I mean, say what you will about Moxley, MJF is nowhere near on the level of Moxley.
No. MJF is not on anyone's level other than his character and mic work.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think the belt is on MJF because Tony Khan is shitting his pants, worried that he's going to lose him next year.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the reason why MJF is champ right now.
There's so many more worthy. At this point, I want Ricky Starks to be champion.
Yeah, that second match was amazing. That Moxley match was amazing.
You know what? Just give Jericho the title. I don't even care. Anyways, we're way off.
Yeah, off topic. Going back to the GHC Heavyweight Championship. Old guard versus young blood. Told a great story. Champion retains. Keno loses. Keno maybe making a move to New Japan for a bit.
Well, yeah, he is.
Yeah. I mean, that's a night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom, but
I like this angle. I like everything that they set up with this angle, the frustration of him losing. He was like, I'm going to beat up somebody else.
Yeah. And
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed this. Going on the main event of the night, the match everybody was pretty much there to see. Shinsuke Nakamura against the Great Muta, not Keiji Muto, who's the same guy, but the Great Muta's final Pro Wrestling Noah match.
This, like I said, I posted it, gave us,
tagged me in it. I saw
at the end of the match, but gave us like honestly a top 10 moment in wrestling for the whole year already. Like
the last 3 shows that I've watched, there's already match of the year contenders on this.
Yeah, I would say and there's a moment that happens at New Year's Dash, which when we review that, you'll know about.
That's coming next Tuesday.
That's also was a top 10 moment for me in not a top 10 match, a top 10 moment. Seeing like Muta walking away from the ring, and
I think that might be a category we need to add to.
Yeah, well, we're gonna grow it, but like, and him and Nakamura. Yeah, he gave like the little speech, and then he went with him, and they
hugged each other on the way.
That was a thing.
But you see, like, I mean, we'll talk about the match too. Like, this was like Nakamura's entrance. Can we talk about that? They brought back his violin player with the koto drums, and like,
it's like, I wish that they could cheer.
Yeah, but it made him look like 10 times the superstar that he is in WWE.
Because he is 10 times the superstar that this is one of the greatest wrestlers in the history of wrestling.
Yeah.
Period. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Period. He's an icon in Japan, an absolute icon.
Who I've had the honor to meet. Check the Discord for the photo.
He set the entire tone of New Japan for multiple years before he handed off to Tanahashi, which
the greatest New Japan Intercontinental Champion there's ever been.
He defined an entire division until
that division for
Naito took that division, but he still never could live up to what
Nakamura
did for that. And it's almost blasphemous what's happening to him in WWE.
He gets stuck with Rick Boogers there.
He put on a match right tonight, with
Well,
like
the match
a
that we watched, yeah.
60-year-old man that has no legs and
Can't see out of that mask.
And just it was a
Sold
good
for him.
match.
And sold for him.
Oh man. And like this is something you don't get if you're in pro wrestling, this is something you don't get in the US unless maybe it's Kenny Omega or I was gonna call him Sean Kingston, Eddie Kingston, where they're wrestling somebody who's like means a lot to them, and this happens. Like Nakamura started crying, and I was like, "What is happening?" I'm like, "This is like
Nakamura's never." I think this is the first time. Is this the first time they faced each other?
It might be, because at that point, when he started in New Japan, Muta had gone to Noah.
Noah at that point, yeah.
I think
so.
Noah.
I think, or All Japan.
Maybe it was All Japan. That was the era of like everyone was going where they were going to finish, like deciding like this is where I'm going. And I don't know, this match meant a lot to both of them, and I felt that, and it meant a lot to me after.
The announcer, they showed the announcer, he was crying at the end of the match, like Nakamura's crying at the end of the Nakamura goes over. Nakamura actually sprays the green mist into Muta's face, Kinshasa, and he gets the pin.
They walking around looking for weapons.
Yeah. Muta hits him with the belt holder. Like,
mind you, the last match was far better than this one.
Technically, yes,
but I was not mad.
No, like I mean,
this is
even certain points. Sorry to interrupt, but even certain points where you see where Muta's putting him, where he's holding him, where he's choking him with the cord, and like he's staring at the cameras, waiting for everybody to take their he's selling it because they know the importance of this match. And I didn't even care about that.
Yeah, it was. I didn't care about anything at all at this point. To me, this is an important match.
We watched history, basically.
We've seen history a few times since I started watching wrestling again, where huge names have retired. We saw Minoru Suzuki. We saw this. Like, I'm not even going to go through it. There's multiple people that have had retirement matches that we got to watch. And
Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair,
exactly. And but to me, like, those guys too, obviously, but I grew up watching this because I watched WCW more than I watched WWF in that time.
And Muta
was always there, and he was like a powerhouse monster. That was his red face era of like
he came out with that gear today in this match. He came out with the OG gear, and Nakamura's gear was a tribute to that gear too.
Exactly, and it was like, it's just, to me, this was special, and they made it more special. And I remember why I came to see this event, and I left as a pro wrestling Noah fan.
Yeah, same here. I think we're going to be watching some more Noah shows throughout the course of the year, especially that Wrestle Kingdom Night 2. That's Noah versus New Japan show, so that's going to be interesting to watch. Great match. It had me emotional at the end of the match, like emotional for the fact that what this match meant, but also in the fact that how they're wasting Nakamura.
We're doing 3 reviews 3 days in a row where the main event, and even in some cases the co-main event, were emotional to the point of like, this is why I watch this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what is going on in the US that we can't figure this out?
Yeah. Like, so basically what we're doing is the events that we're reviewing are going backwards. So the Wrestle Kingdom we did yesterday. Today we're doing Noah, and tomorrow we're going to be giving you the Stardom review, which Stardom was the last pay-per-view of 2022. Noah was the first, and Wrestle Kingdom was the most recent.
You don't feel bad about that, because I bet you right now, if you guys go out there on the YouTubes, you're not even going to find a review for the.
We had trouble finding the events, so we're doing all the hard work for you guys.
Hey, there you go. And I don't know. This was a great match.
Yeah.
Digressing forward, that's not a word, but I just decided it is. The presentation of this was nothing I've ever seen before. It felt
it was different. The only thing that kind of bothered me,
big.
Yeah, but the only thing that kind of bothered me was the announcer kept referring to Nakamura as the WWE Next Champion.
Yeah, well, he said next a lot throughout the whole event, but I don't think that they know anything.
But I won't take point. I won't take points away for that.
But
though.
Like the visual presentation of this event, I liked the setup, how there was no screen. It just said Pro Wrestling Noah, and it like changed colors, and it was like, I really liked it. I really liked this event. I'm going
simple yet effective. Yeah,
I'm going to score this event. First of all, the match of the night was the co-main event, which should have been the main event. The title, the heavyweight title. There was no
versus
worse
Keno.
match.
No,
All Scooter Boys can be the worst match just because they had
Just because they had the scooters.
And I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Really?
I
That's
think
very
that
high.
To go for this many
Mind you,
matches,
mine's not that low either, but yeah, go ahead.
to go for this many matches, have none of them be bad, and then your matches that you meant to be good be that good.
Yeah.
And to the point where you turned me into a fan in one pay-per-view event, which we watched a lot of pay-per-view events and it didn't turn me into fans. So
yeah,
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this.
I'm right behind you. I'm at a 7.9. So I scored this pretty high too.
Yeah.
So
you know,
we're starting the year off on a good note.
I think you have to.
We're
We
two
let
for-
a lot of good ones slide last year, and then
Yeah.
gave a lot of ones that weren't that good high scores. I mean, I'm still happy with my scores, but I feel like now I understand.
But these three events that we're reviewing this week are going to set the benchmark now for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's going to be a freaking huge benchmark.
Yeah. But I'm like I said, I'm right there. I'm 7.9. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining us for the review. Join us tomorrow for our third of 3 reviews. We are reviewing Stardom's Dream Queendom 2, where the main event was Shuri versus Julia for the championship, the red belt, as they call it. So join us tomorrow for that. And with that, thanks again for joining us. We'll see y'all tomorrow.